I'm back, and I'll be back for a while. New channel. Y'all gonna have to find it on your own. It's like a hunt. Oh, but you know who it is. I'm finally back for good this time. It's your boy, Sir Claps. Says, what ifs? What the hell I ain't done? Ghost Edition. Y'all gotta find me here on I have 439 subscribers. So, all of y'all 400 of y'all gotta find me on your phone, and I'm gonna just build a new channel. I'm gonna stay on this channel for a while. Now, let's get into what if. This is what if Naruto and Sasuke were samurai gods together. Not actually samurai gods, like a god of the samurai, but they were samurai users. So, we're gonna start like this. Naruto and Sasuke, same resonated clans as in the show. Sorry if you can hear the rain. His dad the fifth Hokage Minato will be one of the greatest swordsmen and still be the Hokage. But the Nine Tails attack still happened and all of that. So all of that still happened, but Minato was just he had the art of a sword. This is Minato's blade on the screen. This is what Minato had, and Naruto will take that from his hands, and he will get it. Naruto, as a baby, will always see his dad with that blade, and always see his dad looking at the blade. And Naruto, as a small kid, he would want the blade so bad. That one time he tried to break the case, but it didn't work. So when the Nine Tails attack happened, all of this stuff happens regularly. And then we get into the story. Naruto's he's walking to school, and he grabs his blade. He runs into He runs into Sasuke Uchiha. And another guy that would be wielding a sword. They will bump into each other, and they will actually be somewhat of friends. They would train with their blades together, and they would do a whole bunch of stuff. Naruto in this is way smarter than his original self, and Naruto and Sasuke would actually not be a part of the crowd. Like, it wouldn't be, like, it wouldn't be the girls all over Naruto and Sasuke. It would just be Naruto and Sasuke training while, I don't know, all the girls are just being regular. And so Naruto and Sasuke would train. So they would get into a battle, basically. As Naruto would grab his sword off of his back, as well as Sasuke would. Sasuke would take the first charge, charging up his blade with lightning, and then rushing. They will call this the lightning dash, where you would basically enchant your sword with lightning and you strike your opponent. But Naruto, he simply dodged it, quickly got behind Sasuke and tried to land a deadly blow. Sasuke turning around quickly and blocking it with his blade. Sasuke would kick Naruto's leg as Naruto would basically fall to the ground. Sasuke would then hear laughing behind him, and then he would feel a blade touching the back of his head. But then Sasuke started to laugh, and then Sasuke poofed and turned into a log. Naruto would be getting kicked back in the back of the head. Naruto kicked Sasuke in the side swiftly and charged his blade. He dashed at Sasuke, giving him a scar in his stomach. As Naruto would think of a move that he could do, he was a shadow clone jutsu, him knowing the move. And it would be a whole bunch of shadow clones, and Naruto would say elemental charge, which would charge up the blades, and all of the shadow clones' blades were charged as well. All of the shadow clones rushed at that one Sasuke but one, and that one was because he knew that Sasuke wasn't there, and he predicted where Sasuke was going to go. Sasuke was going to go in the bushes so he can get an attack of surprise. Naruto, of course, predicted this and was already in the bush. And when Sasuke came, he landed a swift blow to Sasuke's jaw. Sasuke, not liking this very much, he would charge a lightning blade and give Naruto a scar too. And then finally they would meet in the middle with their blades, holding their blades like an X and holding them against each other for a long time until one of them gave out, which it was Naruto. Naruto had been tripped, and then there was a blade pointing straight to his head. But Sasuke got too risky and left himself open. Naruto tripped him down to the ground as Naruto sprung up from the ground and placed the blade right next to Sasuke's head. Sasuke, of course, losing the battle. They were sparring there, and then they would part their ways and go to their houses. Naruto would be training with his blade all night and trying to learn other moves. He'll be reading a book about chakra control and about different type of moves, while Sasuke would be doing the same. But he learned one special move called the Chidori. All of you know what the Chidori is. The Chidori is basically a lightning ball, like a machine gun, that you charge up and try to hit your opponent. And so that's what basically the Chidori is. Now they would go to school the next day, and Naruto would be training extra hard for the exam. Him already knowing a lot of the things for the exam coming up so he can pass the test. Him and Sasuke already know that they're going to pass. They wouldn't give their best effort. They would both know that they wouldn't even take class seriously. They were so ahead. After class, after the classes and the day ended, they trained and sparred until they heard a sudden thing from the leaves. They both turned around with quickness as they stood back to back, looking everywhere they could. But then they saw something jump out of the bushes and jump into a tree. Not them both throwing kunais everywhere, but they haven't heard a single person. They don't know what it is, but they just left. Naruto feeling like he was getting followed by somebody. Sasuke, of course, kind of feeling the feeling. But Naruto will finally turn around, seeing Kakashi, and thinking it was just a man walking. But then he takes a good look and remembers, wait, I think I know him from somewhere. And he checks in his book, and it says, Kakashi, the copy ninja of the Hidden Leaf Village. Odd. I wonder why he would be following me. So Naruto got home, and when he felt a presence, he turned around and saw Kakashi glaring into his window. So he ran outside and interrogated Kakashi. Kakashi, of course, disappearing, and started to follow Sasuke more. Sasuke got aggravated more and more until he started charging a Chidori up in his pocket. He was charging a very small one so it wouldn't burn a hole. And then, finally, he stopped, turned around, looked back, and yelled out, Chidori! And quickly disappeared and came from behind Kakashi and said, what do you want from me? And Kakashi said, you're fast, but not fast enough. As Kakashi disappeared, and that was all they saw. So they went home, and after that, it was the exam day. The exam day came up, and then Naruto aced it, doing it easily, as well as Sasuke. Sasuke and Naruto did the signature move called the tornado of shadow clones. They will make this move up, and it will be a two-person move, meaning that like duos and stuff can do it. It will be basically you make somebody and you making a whole bunch of shadow clones, and the shadow clones basically spinning until the spinning will get so fast that it will basically create a tornado, making everybody fall. Well, that's what I had to say. But that's what they would call it, so they could ace it easily. And then after that, they got grouped up. And there were no changes. In fact, yes, there were. It wasn't even Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke. It was just Sasuke and Naruto with Kakashi. It was a three-man team. No girls, just two little kids and one grown one. And so they were wondering, and then they realized it was the guy that was following them. And so they were like, hey, Naruto was screaming, hey, Kakashi, what do you want from us? And then Sasuke would say what he said in a very dark voice. And so Kakashi would just say, try to get these bells. It'll be hard. As then, it'd be super easy for Naruto and Sasuke. as they would say, Shadow Clone Tornado, as Kakashi would get flung up to the air, into the air. As Kakashi would get flung up into the air, Naruto leaping, trying to reach for the bells, missing just barely. But that was their plan all along. Sasuke came from the other side, reaching for the bell, grabbing it, but then he disappeared, hitting Sasuke in the back of the head. Naruto kicking Kakashi in the side of the head, and then he punched him in the stomach, reaching for the bells. He came behind his other leg and tapped the bells with his foot, but that wasn't enough. The bells flew off, but nobody had them, so they didn't win, and it was so close to getting ended. The battle kept going on until there was 1 minute left. Kakashi thought he was going to win, but as it was flying through the air, the timer was about to go off, and Sasuke grabbed it out of the air, winning it. And then Naruto and Sasuke laugh about it, saying, we could have got that way easier. And so then they did it. And then they were thinking about joining missions, but instead they went training. They were training, but the same thing happened again. Somebody was leaping around in the bushes. And this time, Sasuke saw it. He saw his brother Itachi. He knew it was him, but he didn't mind it. And then he saw some ravens flying off, and then he absolutely knew it was Itachi. So he waited for Itachi to make another move so he could strike him. Itachi will begin moving as he would see his brother's eye just turn red as Itachi would think, he's unlocked his Sharingan finally. As then Naruto was saying, hey Sasuke, you unlocked your Sharingan. As he was stopping his tracks saying, Sasuke, don't move. As his brother Itachi was standing straight behind him. And then Sasuke disappeared. He came from behind him, kicked him in the head twice, and then Naruto didn't know what to do. So Naruto jumped in to help. And then Itachi pulled out his blade and started dueling them. But they tried to use their signature move that was able to make them win against Kakashi. It's Shadow Clone Tornado. As Itachi would get flung up to the air. Them throwing their blades. No, them throwing their kunais and throwing the blades, making them go in all different directions and making it go right where Itachi would go. It was in 4 different directions, and all of them where Itachi had to go. If he didn't move, he would have got hit by one. If he moved to left or right, would have got hit by one. If he would have moved backwards and tried to dodge them, still would have got hit. No matter which way he went, there was always a 0.00 chance of him not getting hit. But he just grabbed his blade, blocking it. And then Naruto said, I have enough of this. I don't even know who you are, but I will disintegrate you. As then Naruto would go at an insane speed, going off the charts. Itachi has never seen that type of speed before, but Itachi just got hit with a whole bunch of barrage attacks falling from the sky. Naruto would kick him in the face, And Naruto finally said, "You can't beat us. You're too weak." As Itachi was just toying around with them, but you could see their true potential. And Itachi disappeared. And he headed back to wherever he was. Sasuke was aggravated. Way too aggravated. But we'll figure out why he was aggravated in the next episode of the Gods of the Samurai. Naruto, Sasuke, friends. Yes. Oh, but see you on the next episode of this. And peace.